What is up, guys? Victor here from Wolves Den Reviews, bringing you another episode of Samurai Jack, the very new one from this weekend. Tonight was season 5, episode 3, excuse me. Premiere 11 o'clock for March 25th, Saturday. And yeah, this was a cool episode. They are definitely continuing the trend of intensity with each episode, so far that is. Because last week was an instant uphill increase of intensity from the premiere. This one was the same way, even more intense than last week's episode, which was hard to believe because last week's episode was incredibly intense. Like, wow. But yeah, this was an impressive episode, and it was even better than last week's. And it had a direct correlation with last week's episode too, because this episode was split into two parts. With a commercial, literally one commercial in the middle of the episode. The first half was focused on Jack post getting stabbed in his abdomen from last week's episode. He's flowing down a river, he's unconscious, wakes up, swims to shore, finds shelter in a cave, gets the dagger out of him, and he's bleeding the whole time. And the creators are emphasizing the ever-living shit out of the color red. And it's not just like brightening the color up. It's the way it's contrasting with the other colors in the show as a whole, especially when it's on top of darker colors like browns, blacks, those realms of colors. Like, it's incredibly obvious, what is blood and what is not blood. Like, the red is just popping like crazy. But I digress from that. But he takes some shelter in this cave, takes the knife out of him, and again, he's just bleeding like crazy. From the very start of the episode to this point, he's lost all kinds of blood. In reality, he would have already been dead from the sheer amount of blood loss. But, it's fiction, so who cares? And this portion of the episode, where it's before the commercial break, is completely dedicated to Jack trying to recuperate himself, heal that wound, heal in general, rest, get his bearings, mentally get himself straight, and just make sure he's good for the eventual fight with those the 6 remaining sisters that I mentioned in the previous episode. This was my favorite aspect of this half of the episode, though, was... Alright, so last week when I was for episode 2, when I was talking about this weird yin and yang thing that was going on, where Jack was fighting these sisters being outnumbered but kicking ass at the same time, and at the same time there was this wolf doing the same thing with this pack of weird tiger looking things, getting its ass kicked but kicking ass at the same time. That same exact wolf stumbles upon the cave that Jack's already in, and Jack smiles. I guess he's glad to see this other creature that doesn't want to attack him. But the rest of that half of the episode was dedicated to them literally teamworking with each other, healing each other. They're literally teamworking. It was really cool to see. I don't know. When it comes to Samurai Jack, there's weird symbolism, visual storytelling that goes on throughout the show as a whole. Not just these few episodes that are being shown for this season. But they both end up getting healed up. They do a last eye-to-eye communication type of thing, and then the wolf runs off. Maybe we'll see it again in future episodes. Who knows? But that was just a really cool thing to watch. Them two working together. It was, I don't know. I got a soft spot when it comes to that type of visual storytelling, where you gotta just piece things together. So that was that half of the episode. The second half of the episode, after the commercial break, was dedicated to the continued conflict of Jack versus those sisters. And holy fuck, he kicked their asses. He demolished them. He was overwhelmed and outnumbered in the previous episode, all being caught by surprise. I'll make that argument. Even though it's fictional, so creators can do whatever they want. But hey, when you're a fan of a show, you can't help but speculate things. But he absolutely wrecked them. He has a moment of a flashback back to when he was a child. A similar situation, not similar, but a situation happened with his father, and a memory just came back to him. He ends up being prepared, and he relays this quote that came from the flashback that his father said to those sisters, just to like give them one last warning of, hey, either stop this and I'll let you live, just, you know, no, don't try to be bad anymore, or I will kill you if you want to keep being a bad person. That's essentially what it is. And they keep being bad people. And literally, there's 6 of them, mind you. It started out with 7 in general. The first one he killed in last week's episode. So there's 6 left. He takes down 2 of them, stabbing them within 10 seconds. And then it's this cool choreographed fight with the remaining 4. And he gets 1, so then it's 3-on-1. And then there's this final conflict with those 3 on this tree that's hanging over a cliff, like completely horizontal, hanging over a cliff. And wow, it was crazy to see Jack like that. Because I have pretty good memories of the old show from back in the early and mid 2000s. But there's very few moments where it's this dark as far as the action and violence is concerned. And it was like disturbing in some moments, but then it was beautiful at the same time, because like Jack is like finding himself again because of this starting conflict that he's had since episode 1 of the season. So it's just a really weird thing. He makes all 3 of them fall off of the tree. With the way they did it, you could tell it was a long drop, but he makes them all fall, and then literally last second, as he's standing there all triumphant and badass looking, the tree breaks and he falls. It was just a quick comical moment. But yeah, all in all, this was a really good episode. I was hype after last week, and I was not disappointed. Next week's gonna be interesting. It looks like it's taking a different turn after these 3 episodes. So it'd be cool to see what continues to go on in the show. But let me know down below, though, if you watch this, and let me know what your thoughts are for future plot points that could be a potential thing in this season. Let me know what you think so far of these first 3 episodes, if you've seen the 3 episodes. If you've seen any of them, let me know what your thoughts are on the show so far, this season so far. You better love Samurai Jack. This is an awesome show. Thumbs up, though, if you are a Samurai Jack fan. Let me know. Again, though, if you like the show. If you don't give a shit, it's up to you. We all have our preferences. Share the video. Let people know about it. Spread the love. Spread the awesomeness that is Samurai Jack. Subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you along in the wolf pack. There's plenty of room for you guys. Till next thing I put up, you guys take it easy.